Chapter 15. Miss Rachael, your lawyer is here to see you. A voice crackled through the PA system. Rachael wondered why Marcus Garvey, her solicitor, was visiting. Their next appointment was supposed to be in 3 days' time. Tom Daniels was already waiting for her. Without a word, he snapped the cold metal cuffs into place. The sharp click sent a shiver down her spine. When they reached the door, Tom twisted the handle. The door groaned open to reveal the dimly lit space beyond. There was an ominous sense of foreboding as she entered the room. Her eyes fell on a man sitting at the small table, a stranger. He was not Marcus Garvey. His crisp suit and polished shoes were in stark contrast to the drab room. He stood as she entered, his movements calm and measured. He was about 6 feet tall, with broad shoulders, very dark skin, and a reassuring presence. "Hello, Miss Rachael," he said, in a voice steady but not without compassion. "I'm Emmanuel King, your new solicitor." She frowned, unsure whether to feel relief or suspicion. "What happened to my other lawyer, Marcus?" she asked, her voice filled with mistrust. "I have been instructed to take over your defense," he replied simply, glancing down briefly at the Mac in front of him before continuing. Hesitating, he added, "And there is a new charge." "New charge," she echoed, unsure what to think. "Manslaughter," he said simply as he watched her closely. "Manslaughter," she croaked, as though it was the first time she was hearing the word. "Who did I kill now? I have only left these walls once with shackles and an entourage. How could I have killed anyone? Is this some prank?" He hesitated again and braced himself for the impact his words would have. "I'm so sorry. You weren't informed. Edward, he passed last night." She laughed at him. She wasn't sure why she was laughing. Then she asked, "What do you mean he passed? Passed into where and what?" He looked at her and said, "He didn't make it, Rachael. He is gone." The room tilted. Rachel's knees buckled. The floor rose to meet her. She barely registered the impact as she collapsed onto the cold concrete. No. It was a whisper at first, hoarse, fragile. Then it came again, louder. "No, no, no!" The walls felt as though they were closing in. The air was thick, suffocating. She clutched at her chest, as if trying to physically hold herself together, as if trying to stop herself from shattering into 1,000 irreparable pieces. Edward. Gone. She rocked forward, her body convulsed with the force of her sobs. "I killed him," she whimpered. "Oh no, I killed him." Emmanuel stepped closer, his voice almost caught in the overwhelming emotion in that space. "Rachael, listen to me. We can't change what's happened, but we can fight for you. Edward wanted me to be here. He brought me in when he knew he wouldn't make it." The words cut deep. He knew. Her head snapped up, her tear-streaked face wild with anguish. "He knew?" she croaked. "And he didn't tell me? I saw him not too long ago. He looked fine. This isn't possible. He was alive and well. He couldn't have. He is in the hospital." Her eyes were wild, confused, pleading. She remained crumpled on the cold floor, her cries echoing through the small room. A violent tremor rippled through her entire body. A sudden bang on the door jolted them both. Tom stormed in, his boots heavy against the floor. "Trouble, counsel?" Tom asked. His gaze flicked between Rachel's crumpled form and Emmanuel's composed stance. "None whatsoever. Leave us alone, please." Tom retreated. Emmanuel remained standing, his eyes never leaving her. Minutes passed, maybe hours. Finally, the sobs quieted and tapered into uneven, shallow breaths. Emmanuel reached into his briefcase, pulled out some tissues and a document, and slid it across the table. "This is your consent form," he said gently, handing her a tissue. "You need to sign it. It will give me permission to represent you. Without it, I can't really help. Edward asked me to be here, but I need your express permission to represent you." Rachel moped into space, her eyes glassy and unfocused. "I'll leave the form and come back tomorrow," Emmanuel said softly. "I know you're in a bad place right now, but if you trust me, just let me help. You will get through this." He paused, then emphasized, "It was what Edward wanted for you and for the baby." The baby kicked her, as though in agreement. Rachel let out a long, shuddering sigh. Her gaze drifted to her hands, the hands that had once touched Edward with love, the hands that had held his, the hands that had taken his life. A war raged inside her. She stood. Then slowly her hands moved. She reached for the paper and tore it in two. The rip echoed through the room. "I don't need you," she murmured, her voice hollow. "I don't need redemption. I deserve to be condemned." Without another word, she stood, her movements slow, deliberate. She walked to the door, lifted a shaking hand and knocked. A weak, barely audible signal. The handle turned. She stepped out, leaving Emmanuel behind. He watched her go and felt sadness for her. "When you cross deep rivers, I will be with you, and you won't drown. When you walk through fire, you won't be burned or scorched by the flames." Isaiah 43:3.